and welcome to the Swole Initiative Network. You are watching the Fables of Gahlia. I still do not have a new catchphrase. Yes, thank you for being here. Thank you for waiting. We had some tech issues and then stuff. It's been a whole ass month this week. I've had enough. Is it May yet? But hello, welcome in. Welcome into some old faces as well. I see Liv and I see Dial Up in there. Hello, welcome back. Cool. I'm probably gonna have to keep adjusting my headphones because they keep squeezing out of my ears.
Stop flexing your ears.
Yeah, I can't help it. Yeah, awesome. Before we jump into tonight's whole ass show, I guess we should probably go over some of our cool ass brand partners and stuff. Starting with Stacks.
Yes,
Please take
Swole
the mic.
only roll with Norse Foundry's amazing gemstone and metal dice. Also, all of our featured music comes from the free library, available on Apple Music and Spotify by the one and only Norse Foundry. Use the code SWOLE, SWOLE, to save 10% at norsefoundry.com.
Amazing. And everyone's giveaways caught up. They're all caught up. I haven't slept this year, but they're all caught up. So we're good. So we have some more stuff for you guys as well. But Betty, what you got?
Hey guys, I wasn't trying to respond to Eric in the chat. That was funny, buddy. That was funny. We also have Griffin Co. And all of our 3D printed and custom terrain comes from the incredible folks over at Griffin Co. So you can check them out and use the code SWOLE22, that's SWOLE22, to save 22 whole ass percent at griffinco.com.
Oh, our freeze did. There we go. My animation broke. Ashley, nearly called you Adeline. Not yet. What you got for us?
Yeah. What up? I'm gonna tell you all about our only, the coolest flippin' brand partner and official sponsor of Fables of Gahlia, Hero Forge. Yeah, they're really cool. And all of our custom player minis come from the folks at Hero Forge. I'm not reading this off of a thing at all. Design yours today. At HeroForge.com.
Amazing. Cool. Yes, so I know we are a little late, so I will, as always, try to keep this quick. Giveaways are all caught up, which means that we have fresh giveaways, and we have switched with Norse Foundry to doing e-gift cards, which I already have the codes for. So that means as soon as you win and you inbox me, I can send you the code and you can get whatever you want right away. Look at that.
Mic drop.
Because my sanity. Yes, once we hit up on the screen, that was part of the tech issue. Up on the screen, where is it? Like down here. Yeah. When we hit 30 total subs, and those are normal subs, those are prime subs, which you do have to re-sub every month to your channel, and gifted subs if you are feeling super generous and things, then they all go towards our sub goal. Once we hit 30, we will unleash the giveaway, which our first giveaway of the month is a $50 gift card to Norse Foundry to spend on whatever the hell you want. You can get a couple of things for that, or put it towards a really nice set of dice. So yes, as soon as we hit 30, we will drop the giveaway. You do have to be in the show, obviously, to get it, and you have to be here when we call it as well, because you have to claim it or we move on, to make sure that it gets given away on the show. So it could happen on this show, it could happen on any of our other shows as well, now that we have several. Plus, one more that is, we are... yes, other thing. We are doing the beta playtest of Daggerheart. Yeah. We will be doing that on off weeks from Call of Cthulhu, now that Die has finished. So we'll be doing that. We're doing session 0 this Wednesday, because it lined up with everyone being here for Call of Cthulhu, and then every other week on off weeks with Call of Cthulhu. So Wednesdays we will always have something. It will either be Call of Cthulhu or Daggerheart. And we will be updating the rules. There's a new rule test. There's a new rule set coming out on Tuesday. So hopefully I will be able to read up all of those and put them in and implement them. And it should be fun. But session 0 is on... I can win from Canada now. Yes. Yes. I don't see a reason why not. Because I can send you the gift card, and then you just have to pay for the shipping. That's dope. I hate that. I hate that. Goddamn thumbs. God damn you, thumbs.
The BBEG.
That's the clip. So, oh crap. No, I've forgotten where I'm at. We were talking about Canada. Oh, Daggerheart. Yes, we'll be doing that. So it's session 0. So we're going to be creating characters on the Demiplane Nexus system, and showing you like how easy that is to roll through it, and building up our sort of background, and then we will do the story in the next session after that. So we've got that to look forward to. Other things. We did subs. Oh. If you are a subscriber, you can roll along with the cast. If you hit !roll in the chat, it will roll a d20 for you. Or if you put !roll D followed by a number of faces upon a die, then it will roll the corresponding die for you, all the way up to a d100. So enjoy that. Roll along with the cast. If you are not a subscriber, and you are unable to, that's totally fine. If you're here, you're why we do it. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching our silly little stories, and supporting us that way. That's the main thing. But you get something as well, because for being here and watching, you accumulate channel points, which you will find in the flexing arm at the bottom left-hand corner of your chat window thing, the chat bit. If you click on that, you will see these guys' lovely faces, or their characters rather, and you can click on those, and you can spend 1,000 points per player per stream. Stop it, guys! I'm trying to get through this. Per player per stream. Once a player has 10,000 points spent on them in one stream, they will gain a flex point, which is signified by a flexing arm in their player window. And they get to basically bend the rules slightly. It's a side door to the rule of cool, as long as it makes narrative sense. It's made for some pretty awesome things that have actually changed the story quite a bit. So yeah, thanks. I've had to tear up several pages. But please, go ahead, get in the chat, talk about who you want to get. Adeline's already at 90%. So, oh, Adeline's got one. There you go. So, get amongst yourselves, decide who you want to see, get the next one, and then do it. Spend the points. Cool. YouTube, we are almost at 1,000 subscribers. We're at 971. We're all caught up with the Fables of Gahlia, and we just dropped session 0 of Die. Sorry, I've got a lot of announcements this week, because lots of things happened. But we just dropped session 0 on there, so if you missed it, you can go back and watch the character creation for the Die RPG that the very skillful Eric ran. Oh, Rhapsody's got a flex point now too. So yeah, that is there. If you are able to, YouTube will take you there, and then you can subscribe. It's super free over there, and if we get to 1,000, that's what we want, because then we can get to be a Twitch partner, and that would be lovely. I think that's it. I'm pretty sure that's it. It's like an hour in. Okay, so
It's been 10 minutes. You're fine.
I guess there's nothing else to do than roll the trailer for the next episode of the Fables of Gahlia. And welcome back. So, last time on the Fables of Gahlia, we are at the Institute of the Arcane. 2 years later, we finally made it. The Fellowship spent their first night at the Beaumont Manor after being introduced to Adeline's parents. Taking the night to rest and awaking the next morning. Heading down for breakfast, some of us kind of beating others to it, but eventually everyone convenes in the breakfast room, the dining hall. There's not a room for every single meal. I don't know, maybe there is. The dining hall where Adeline's parents were. And after a moment of sort of beating around the bush a little bit, we began to unfold most of what everyone knows that is going on, mainly about Lily or Grace, and them not being there anymore, as Silas is expecting to see his daughter. Adeline's parents said that they would go and arrange a meeting with Silas, but for the next day, to give them some time to put together everything. And so after that, having a moment to talk amongst yourselves, being left alone in the dining room, you are free to get ready and explore, but we are just going to focus in on that dining hall as we come back. Forgot to press the button. There we go. There's everyone's faces. So as we come back into the dining hall in the Beaumont Manor, you are now just amongst yourselves. What would you like to do?
Well, they'll be off for some time now. Shall I show you all around?
Well, we've really done a lot to get here, so I think it would be nice to venture out a bit.
Are you happy to be back home, Adeline?
Very much so. It's strange. It's familiar. Everything smells the way it ought to. Everything looks in its place. But it all seems somehow smaller now. But it is always comforting to come back to what's familiar.
I can't imagine anything in a house this large feeling smaller.
I suppose you're right.
As big as the temple is, I feel like I could probably put it inside your house.
Well, there is a chapel if you do find yourself needing to. It's off the
In
main
your house?
No, across the grounds a bit away, but a private chapel, yes.
Ah,
Is my mother's very spiritual, we call it.
good.
Yes.
I may find my way over there at some point. Did you want... Did we discuss something about shopping?
Yes,
You all want to go shopping?
I mean, I think Roz does.
Well, there's a glorious bookstore. The Glimmering Quill. I've always been a big fan of what they get in, and gosh, it's been so long. I haven't seen what they've gotten in the last few shipments. Are you are talking about books, right?
No.
Okay.
Clothes, darling.
Clothes. I'm not sure. I think I've heard of this trendy little, what do they call it? Thrift store called Regalia? It's just down around the corner, just past.
How long have you been sat on that?
That would hurt.
I fucking love that.
I,
Cannon.
you told me. It's just past the coffee shop, which is a lovely little spot. We can head that way.
What's wrong with the clothes we're wearing?
Oh, well, you've recently gotten a whole new wardrobe. Captain?
What I'm wearing is fine. Okay, I'm not sure why we're shopping.
Well, we're in a place that has more than anywhere we've been before.
So this Institute of Learning Magic is a city in itself?
Well, I mean, yes. There's so much. Most people, well, they don't really venture out too awful much. Because everything you need is here. So yes, there are taverns and shops, and coffee spots, and a glorious library.
And a proper brothel?
No. Nor do I have a clever pun name for, but give me like 5 minutes.
Every proper city has a. Oh, never mind.
While that's probably the case, it's probably not something that Adeline or her family would know about.
No, let's not ask my parents where the closest brothel is. I'm not certain where to even find out such a thing. Perhaps someone at the tavern, but you see, it's not. It's much more wholesome than what you might be expecting.
You should remember, Adeline, when I say this, I don't mean any offense, okay? Lost, you should remember that this place that we are in houses and is the home of Adeline. And
Why would I
is
take that as an insult?
No, not at all. And she is a direct reflection of this place.
Ah.
So
So there must be a place to buy drugs.
Oh,
No?
Oh
no.
gosh.
No?
I did promise that one peddler I would start a drug ring here. Oof. Alright, I've got some work to do to deliver some performance enhancing drugs to the students.
A tavern would be fine. If we make a stop by a tavern, that'd be fine. While you shop for your clothing. Yeah.
Lovely. Oh gosh, I'd love to go. There's a kitchen I'd quite like to see.
A who?
It's a familiar place. There's all sorts of familiars and animals to pal around with. See, you can get milk for you and the kitty so that you can enjoy it together. I'm surprised that more taverns don't have that feature.
Oh. Well, that sounds unique.
Yes, I'd quite like to go. So to the tavern, and then to the clothing shop. Yes?
Sure. I think, is there some kind of, and this is probably a silly question considering where we are, is there a potion shop or a magic shop?
There is. It should be open today. I don't see why not. Jay, this is the one I forgot. Jay, help me out, bro.
I got you. The one store that you forgot is Wondrite's workshop. That is like the closest to like a magic item store that you would find in like the city proper, outside of the school. Obviously, there's a lot more powerful stuff and potent things done within the school, but the stuff that is public facing, Wondrites will be the place. Specializing in customized spell focuses.
Ooh.
I think I would like to go there. And Adeline, you and I particularly might want to think about things that make us less vulnerable to being hit.
God, I would love that. That would be so nice. I mean, no matter what I do, it's just like errors go right through me. I don't know how you all do it.
I know. I think I've brought you back to consciousness more than anyone else.
Right. It makes you wonder, is it like each time you're revived, is consciousness like that of like the boards of a ship? Is it like a Theseus consciousness kind of situation where so much of it has been replaced by like this like magical level? Like, does any of me still exist? Something to talk to the philosophy professors about for sure. Anyhow,
No, I can just heal you, and it's you.
right. It's not like right. Where does a
It's like when a doctor heals you, and you know, it's similar.
where do I go?
When you are unconscious,
Right.
Usually to the floor.
always to the floor.
That is true. So, shall we make a day of it?
Right?
Yeah.
Cool. So, so you have, like, obviously, as long as you want to go and gather whatever you want to take with you. If there's anything in particular that you want to take note of grabbing or whatever, you can do so. But other than that, you go back to your rooms, grab everything you need, and head out of the main doors to the Beaumont estate. Walk down the sort of like mosaic stoned pathway to the gates, which you open and step out onto the streets of the Institute proper, which are now like very busy. This is probably the busiest that you've seen any city at this time of day, especially. But there are like multitudes of people like walking down streets and things, going about like their business, going about wherever they need to head. The sounds of like people calling out to one another are like ringing through the air. And there's buildings on either side the whole way through. Like everything is constant streetways with buildings that are like fairly high, like 3-4 stories. This is like one of the only places where people are sort of, because it's so populated, is packed upwards as well. Yeah, you head out into the streets. Where would you like to go first?
I think we're heading to a familiar place.
You're going to a familiar place first. Okay. So it doesn't take you too long. But eventually you come across a sort of very classic looking sort of English pub with like frosted windows that have inscribed in gold on them in this beautiful cursive, a familiar place. And at the end, the tail of the E turns into the outline of a cat with its tail underneath. The doors are open. It's a tavern, but it's open. It's early, but it's open. As you sort of push your way in, this sweet smell hits you. Not like a perfume like punching you in the face, but just this almost like very homely sweetness. Like it's almost like you're coming home. And as you start to look around, you see that there are couches laying out, and there are your sort of normal like nooks and things with booths with tables and such, but occasionally there's just like this giant like wingback chair that is just out in the middle of the floor, and as this sort of mismatched, like multicolored furniture starts to like take your eyes, you start to notice things moving all around. There are cats walking along. There are mice. There is, lost as you walk in, you look straight down and kind of almost have to like stop yourself because like pulling itself along the floor is this octopus. There are animals everywhere in here. This is a familiar place. This is basically Ghalia's cat cafe. And behind the counter, you see a fairly tall peach furred person, the small button nose, and long ears that are pulled back and braided down onto her shoulder. She is a Herongon. And so she has this like white shirt with the sleeves like rolled up on either side. She's got this like nice like apron, almost like a chocolatier's kind of apron, like a very nice apron that is just there for aesthetic, with like the emblem embroidered on in gold thread across the side. She looks up and goes, "Oh, hey!"
Hi! It's been so long!
Yeah! You? How are you?
Adeline? I come here.
Adeline? Yes.
Right. Yes. I'm here and I read to the cats and hang out with them.
Yes. Okay. I got you. Yeah. It's like she looks at her wristwatch. Looks outside. It is early for you guys to be here.
Right. Well,
Nothing wrong. Not judging. I mean,
one
the
of our
familiars still need people to talk to.
How does this work exactly?
Oh, well, you know, when wizards pass and they have a familiar that is particularly well bonded, sometimes they don't disappear themselves, and so I take it upon myself to pull them in, just give them a nice home for and the students come in, and the people they come in, they enjoy a drink, and they get to pet the familiars and things, and at that point, like on top of the counter, in a puff of like dark blue smoke, this like giant, almost like a Dalmatian-sized dog is just on the counter and just starts licking her face. Oh, down, like pushes him off the counter, which he doesn't like, barely has to like step off of, and just kind of walks off, tail whipping to the side, like hitting tables and things as it goes off. But yeah, I mean, these all need companions.
Does
Yes.
that happen often? Pointing to like the dog situation.
Yeah, I mean, he's a blink dog, so
Oh.
it's kind of here one minute, gone the next, and then back again, but somewhere completely different.
Okay.
Yes. Lost. This is the tavern here.
This
This-
explains so much.
Right. I mean, I find it so surprising that the other taverns we've gone to, there's neither hide nor hair of an animal, and they don't have like a full offering of milk like they do here, you know?
Things
I
are.
mean, a tavern that's a petting zoo has got to have a drink. Can I have a hair of the dog?
That dog, or
You've got to have a drink called the hair of the dog at a place like this. No, no.
I can certainly find you one.
Can I just have some fire brandy?
That I can do. She turns around, grabs one of like the sort of darker bottles off of a shelf, and pulls the cork out. Pours you a like a tumbler, nice crystal tumbler. Like, this is a nice place. Like, you look around, you see like the animals and the weird furniture and stuff, like almost like thrifted together, and you're like, what the fuck am I doing here? But there's money around. She slides over this like beautifully cut crystal tumbler. There you go. Are we starting a tab? Well, like, what can I do?
Yes, we're starting a tab. I'm here with the Beaumonts.
Oh, the Beaumonts.
Yes,
Fantastic.
I'm guest of the Beaumonts. Yes.
Definitely
Yes.
an open tab.
Yes. Thank you.
So what can I get everyone else? Top shelf stuff? Let's go.
Yes.
It's early, but I'm here. She
Are
says,
we-
almost
are we-
looking at her wristwatch again.
Are we staying long?
Well, surely we can stay for one drink.
You could stay for several rounds, especially with the Beaumont's tab. Look, get yourselves a table, find yourselves an octopus, sit down, and plan out the rest of your day. It's early. There's no need to be running around everywhere. You can stay here for a while. It's a familiar place, after all.
Rose, I think I discovered Adeline's secret special power.
What's that?
The Beaumont name.
Oh, her name. Be careful.
Yes, if I could get 2 milks, one in the glass and one in a saucer.
Got it? Yep. Any milk in particular? You know, we have a vast array of milks.
Oh gosh, surprise me.
Would you like it squeezed from an animal or a strange object, like an almond or a coconut? I got one weirder. There's oat. You wouldn't think it has milk.
What? You can't get milk from an oat.
Watch me. Goes off to the back.
All right. Oat milk? Who's ever heard of such a thing?
Walks out with a glass, puts it on the counter.
That's
I mean,
thick.
dragon's milk? Is that a thing?
Probably. Well, I don't know. They give birth to eggs. They don't really give birth, I suppose. They lay eggs, so I guess there's no real need for milk. But I don't know.
Right.
I've never met one.
We always end up back to the dragon egg conversation.
I mean,
don't we?
everyone knows that dragons lay eggs.
Well, yeah.
Oh, right. Dragonborns then, it makes sense too, also hatch from eggs.
All dragon can lay eggs.
Of course they do.
Everyone knows that.
Everyone knows that. All right. Well, and thank you so much. Yes, on the family tab, she's gonna take her milk, and she's just gonna sit on the floor, like next to a little orange tabby cat, and set the saucer down in front of her and be like, "Oh my gosh, little Pixie, I've missed you so much. Tell me, how has it been?"
It's been pretty good.
Amazing.
If we're just going to stay for a bit, I would have a Morning coffee?
Morning coffee. You want a halfling coffee?
A what? Oh,
Halfling?
Yeah, it's just got a little dash in it. Wake you up a little bit, make you feel comfy.
Sure.
Excellent.
Yes.
You want
yes.
2? I'll just set 2 up for you. That's good, right? You're over on that table? I got you.
Okay, I will be there.
You, sir, are you done with that fire brandy? Do you need topping up?
I slide the glass right over.
Catches the glass, puts another one up on the top, and pours both of them out. Here you go. I just figured that I would get ahead of it. You know, just to stop you having to come up to me. You just go and have your little sit down with your friends.
Thank you. I just need a couple more of these and I'll survive this experience.
Starts tallying up. I'll bring your coffee over. Don't worry about it. And you, ma'am?
Adeline.
I'll have a milk. Can I just have normal milk, like regular milk?
Like from a dragon?
Yeah,
I'm just
that
kidding
one.
with you. You want cow's milk? Just a regular old cow.
Cow or goat, either one is fine.
Or which one's regular?
Well, honestly, growing up, we didn't have a lot of cows, so it was more goats for us.
Oh, then I'll do goat.
Great. And I guess I'll get one for a familiar as well.
Excellent. I won't put goat's milk in it though. I'll put cow's milk.
Whatever they like.
All right. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's everyone, I think. And as you kind of look around, counting one another, you realize that Brinthar has slipped away.
Where's Brinthar?
We didn't lose him in the. He's not just gonna look behind like a chair or something. He's not just standing behind something of medium size.
I mean, these familiars are probably scary for him, being how small he is. They're all beasts.
I don't
Maybe
know
he's
about
allergic.
that.
He's unfamiliar with the city. I hope he doesn't get lost. This probably is an awful lot for him, considering he grew up in. Oh, he's not even here for me to goad him into it.
I don't know. He did a lot of traveling over a long time, long distance, and
Fair enough.
he's probably fine.
Well, and if he gets lost, he can always just ask, and people ought to point him in the right direction.
Right. But I bet he went to look up information about the what is it called?
The Everspore.
Everspore. We'll find
Yeah,
him.
I mean, he left with you. You guys just like looking around at everything and how big everything is. Like you can't really put your finger on it when that he just kind of slinked off.
Brinthar does seem like the kind of person that just kind of does their own thing.
It is true. Well, there's not too much trouble he could get into, yeah? I hope.
Right.
To be fair, I don't know where people go to get into trouble here. This
I give
seems,
Go ahead.
this seems like the most trouble you could get into, and well, the most I've ever seen happen is well, an octopus getting a bit stuck to someone's arm. was just quite fond of them.
The Harangon comes up behind and puts down coffees and saucers and glasses and everything for everyone. There was that time that the octopus got stuck on that ceiling fan.
I heard about that.
That was a bad time for everyone.
What happened?
Ink everywhere.
Oh.
Yet, just everyone panicked. No one thought to turn it off before they tried taking him off.
Logic tends to be the first thing to go out the window. And
Yeah, I mean, city full of wizards, they like use their brains so much, sometimes common sense isn't at the forethought. No offense.
I'm not a wizard.
none taken.
Well, I'll leave you to it. My name is Thalil. I'm here if you need anything. Extra drinks? Yes? Do you want me to while I'm up?
I'm good.
I'm gonna take one to go. It's one of those. We can carry these around the city, right?
I can make that happen for you. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you. I like this place.
She's quite cute.
She walks behind the bar, comes back, and puts down like a sealed mason jar in front of you.
Alright.
There you go. To-go cup. Never done one of those before, but you know. Anyway, anyone else? You need topping up or
No.
no?
I think
Quite
we've
all right.
learned that drinking excess amounts of milk is not a good idea.
All right, could do
Right.
something else. We got plenty to drink here.
Thank you so much, Thalil, but I think we're okay. You know, I went to a place once. They served milk in a cup this tall. This tall. Maybe
Get
you should
outta
think
here.
about it. Was, I swear to you, I would not lie. It was, I would, but not about this. I think maybe you ought to do something like that. You know, do like a fun little like.
Oh, a gimmick? I don't want to be a gimmick place.
Yeah, that, this is above that for sure.
We got class here. We don't need to lower ourselves to theme restaurant.
You're so right. You're so right. I just, you know, that amount of milk, it just keeps someone drinking for quite a while.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, if you need anything, I'm right over here. Enjoy. She walks
Thanks.
off, little cottontail kind of sticking out.
Adeline, isn't this entire place a themed restaurant?
Right. I'm not sure if she's the most self-aware, but,
Okay.
you know, what she's doing is very noble, you know? These
It is,
familiars
yeah.
have nowhere to go other than oblivion.
I'm sure they've seen lots.
Yes, the veterans, all of them, basically. Well, except for the ones who are just with really studious wizards who don't really leave their towers. There's actually probably more of them than not.
But maybe they have a wealth of knowledge because of that.
Certainly.
Do all of them speak? I heard this one talk to you.
Oh, you mean little Pixie?
Yeah.
Well, you know, she's definitely a bit of a chatterbox, especially if you scritch her right here behind her ears. Look at her go.
I have Poppy sitting on my shoulder, her little glowing golden skeleton, just kind of looking around at all of this. I would
So-
offer the milk to Poppy, even though that's not necessary.
She kind of like tilts her head at you.
I don't know, I'm sharing. And then I'll put it down for like one of the other animals.
Yeah, like a horde of like small critters just kind of on top, and then an owl comes and just kind of sits on the back of one of the chairs near you.
Hello. Do you speak?
Just flies back off.
All right.
Do familiars just exist forever?
That's a good question.
Well, I mean, they can't truly die in a way. They can be summoned back as long as the one who they are summoned by can do so. But the ones here, if they're wizard or other magically adept, is no longer with us. Gosh, I guess there's no one to summon them back. But if nothing threatens them, it takes them away, why? Well, there's nowhere else for them to go.
Takes them away where?
Wherever they go, that space between existing before they're called back. It happened to Duchess. You know, when we were a few times now that she's poofed out of existence, and then I've called her back. Sorry, Duchess. Sorry to talk about this. I know it's a very sensitive subject. I know, you're so emotional.
So, does the magic user create the body for the familiar, or do they already have their form and you're just calling forth a certain type from wherever it is that they are stored?
Well, that's a curious question indeed. Is magic a matter of matter creation, or is it just calling it from elsewhere in the ether?
A summoning.
We should talk to one of the professors. This is a great thinker. This is a great... They'd love to talk about this type of thing. Maybe you should enroll in some classes.
Is it like the... It sounds a lot like dying to me, Adeline.
Right, but when you die, you leave your body. Their body and their souls are so linked that if they were to die, their entire body just out of existence until they are called forth again when they materialize.
I think I would like to know where they go.
Duchess, do you have any insight on where you go?
They're like discordant 6 red eyes just kind of blinking. Just looks up at you.
Right. The oblivion is ineffable. That's a very good point, Duchess.
Another curious, are you technically the only one that can summon Duchess?
I suppose others could call forth similar familiars, but Duchess is linked to me, and very much so. I'm not sure if someone were to try to call a familiar, even down to the very description of her, down to her little bow on her tail, that they would call the same Duchess forth. She
So-
is in some way an extension of me and my magic, I believe.
So in a way, is the magic user linked to wherever it is that they're drawing their familiar from?
Well, for different people, it's certainly different sources of magic.
So if I was to have a familiar, would I be pulling it from some kind of celestial plane?
That's a very good question. And one that we could pursue answers to here at the Institute. Gosh, there's something in the air that just makes you more quizzical, isn't it?
I am asking a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Either way, it's lovely that these creatures have somewhere to call home when they've lost the one that's closest to them. I've finished my milk. Do we want to move on?
Oh,
I'm ready
Right.
to go.
okay. To the clothier. It's just down the way. Thalil, could you just send the bill to our house?
Yeah, don't worry, I got you covered.
Thanks so much.
No, thank you.
Is
We're
that
ready to
really okay?
What?
To just let your family take care of the bill.
Oh, I doubt it will even raise an eyebrow. I mean, it is fine. It's...
Okay.
We have it covered. Right. To Regalia.
Yeah, so you see that that owl from before kind of flutters down to the counter, and Thalil is like folding up that piece of paper she was writing on, puts it in an envelope, and like seals it, puts it in the owl's beak, and then the owl like flies out the window. All right, I'll be seeing you. Feel free to come back, you know, if you just need to sit down or whatever.
Thank you.
All right, bye now.
We're
All
leaving.
right.
Yeah, we're out. I've walked out.
We're not in there anymore.
Yeah.
My mind is just spinning on like existential, familiar,
No.
like quandary that
And
we've
yet,
created.
yet you didn't ask the person who spends all of their time
Dang
with
it.
familiars. Who definitely
Hold on, let's go back.
Let me put my head back in the door here.
And so as you head out to Regalia, that is where we're going to take a quick 10-minute break. So we will be right back to finish off this exploratory episode of the Fables of Gahlia. So stick around. And we're at 11 out of 30, almost halfway. $50 gift card up for grabs. All right now. Bye-bye. And welcome back. So after we took a little meander and spent a little bit of money at a familiar place, meeting Thalil, we are heading to Regalia, the semi-thrift store for clothing within the Institute proper. So we're not going to roleplay this out. basically, they can obtain whatever you want. It's whether they have it that day or have to have it crafted. But with magic and things, clothing is very quickly crafted. And so, entering into Regalia, what clothing would you guys like to pick out?
I think Rhapsody would get something that he could wear now that's like subdued, but then put in an order for something that would take longer to make. That seems like a Rhapsody move.
Cool. Okay. So, something like a black hoodie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Easy enough for you to buy something that will kind of make you unassuming within the area. But still a little bit of flair to it. Not wanting to let it go too much. But yeah, you can put an order in. It'll take 1 to 2 days. But what would you like made?
Let's see. Boots. Kind of brown or burgundy-ish-esque adjacent. Black. I don't want to say parachute pants, but
Like
Harem
pants?
Harem.
Harem pants.
harem pants. Yeah, those are a better. Yeah, I would go with that one over. Yeah, and then
MC Hammer pants.
yeah, and then instead of like the normal like silks that he wears over himself, he would do more like a shawl type attire with like gold accents on it. And then like just subtle details here and there that he would point out.
So just kind of like a leaning into a more roguish, but still holding on to aspects of your temple clothing. Sweet. Yep. You can do that. You can pick that up in like 1 to 2 days. Is anyone else picking up anything? Bye.
You go.
Oh, I'm gonna get a black dress that's basically like the one I'm currently wearing, and then some new boots, maybe some with a little texture, maybe like a lace overlay or something pretty.
Not like gator skin texture.
No.
Cool.
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay, like embroidered boots. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, kind of like 1800s witchy boots,
Got it.
like a little heel.
Yep. Understood. Yeah, that's easy enough as well. Witchy and wizardy is pretty easy to come by here. And Adeline, what are you picking up?
I think looking through the store, she finds these like amazing tall like navy boots with like a celestial type embroidery on them. And I'm gonna have them custom make
Celestial meaning like
stars
rather than like gods and that
Yes.
kind of celestial.
Yes. Yeah. Come on.
Just
Is
this
that
giant gold, giant gold like angel. Like,
Oh,
exactly. No, not her motif.
just gold angel wings on your back. Like
Yeah, exactly.
me.
Why are you so obsessed with me?
No, like stars and moons and that type of thing. And she's gonna order a jacket to kind of have them custom make a jacket to kind of match the same to source the same vintage fabric and
cool. Okay. Yeah. you can have that done. Between you, that's probably about 5 gold. It is thrifted, so
Adeline will pay it.
it is
Okay.
found material that is rehomed. Means you can feel good about yourselves, guys.
It's not fast fashion.
Listen, there are enough clothes in this world to clothe everyone 10 times over.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
So, Regalia has been regaled. Where would you like to go to next?
What was it called? I wrote it down, but I don't remember where. What's the magic place called?
There's the Glimmering Quill, which is the magic bookshop, and there is Wandrite's Workshop, which is the spell focus and
Wandrite.
random
That's the one.
magic item.
Yeah. Wandrite would be the one I'd want to go to.
Right.
Follow me!
Sweet. Yep. So heading down the streets, like busy streets again. Like dodging around people, going down different streets and alleyways and things. Eventually, you do make your way to Walter Wandrite's workshop. Fairly sort of inconspicuous, like very small windows. Just a kind of like wooden sign hand painted above the door. As you push open the door, little bell jingles across the top of the door. As you walk in, everything is this like beautifully, meticulously carved wood. Like all of the shelves and things like perfectly varnished down to every minute detail. Everything is perfectly kept, not a speck of dust around. Things placed in very particular places upon shelves. You guys see all manner of different pieces upon the shelves, all equally like equidistant, spaced out. Like everything is as it should be. You walk in, and there are sort of like aisles, but there are 2 sort of long tables that kind of divide up the main sort of thoroughfare of the center. There are shelves that go all the way around the outside. These 2 tables that run down the inside, like long tables that you can go in between. And then at the back, there is this beautifully ornate counter, which is carved with these like awesome like 3-dimensional filigree and things like into the corners of this like giant solid piece of wood. And behind the counter, you see another large person, just so happens, covered in these brown feathers, with this hooked beak in front, with this single large monocle upon this giant yellow eye, with these folded wings behind him, dressed in a like tweed vest, pocket watch across on one side, with like another white shirt sort of underneath, with the sleeves rolled up just past the wrist, just to keep away from the dirt. Completely equidistant on both sides. Adeline, you can probably tell that probably took several goes to get that right. But this is Walter Wandrite, the owner of the store. So as the bell sounds off as you guys walk in, he looks up. Well, hello there.
Hello.
Hi.
So good to see you. My friends here are new to town. I think they're looking to see, well, I'd like to show them the Institute's best. So, of course, I...
Oh, I
brought them
see.
here.
Well, you come to the right place. My name is Walter Wandrite of Walter Wandrite's Workshop.
It's
I
nice to
am
meet you.
the premier crafter of wands and spell foci around this area. And as you sort of look around and take in the sort of scenery around you can see that there are like glass cases behind him with these like beautifully ornate, like carved, completely smooth wands of different woods and textures and different designs, like basically going down the walls behind him. And what is it that I can do for you?
Well, I was looking for. Well, it's kind of easy to get hit when sometimes we're easy targets on a regular basis, and I was looking for something that maybe like a breastplate or something that was gonna make it harder to get hit.
Easy targets, you say?
We've been in the field.
Yeah, we're not from around here.
Understood. Say no more. Don't want to know. But if it is magical items that you require, I can certainly help you out. A breastplate, you say?
Yes. I'm a cleric of Eastus, so if you had something that was golden, and I'll kind of like pop my shoulder a little bit where like the gold cat skeleton is just like sitting.
Just biscuiting on the shoulder.
And that's kind of what I'm looking for.
See. Golden. You know, I don't have anything here right now, but I can certainly acquire what it is you are looking for.
Well, I think we'll be here for a couple of days.
I can apply a gold hue. That isn't too strenuous of a magical task for me.
Okay.
Would you like an enchantment upon this?
Like what?
Oh, I don't know. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? And he, like, pulls a stool, sits up on it.
He's like a bird person.
He's an Aarakocra, yeah.
Aarakocra. Oh, wow. Okay.
He basically looks like an eagle, though. Like, it's the...
I am, like I said, a cleric of Eastus, and I have. I don't know. I don't know how much I should tell you. This is weird.
I mean, you
I
don't need to
assume-
tell me everything about you, just what it is that you need.
Well, I have the ability to draw on my celestial ancestry. So sometimes I have wings and I can fly.
I always have wings and I can fly. So that's
Well-
something we have in common.
For like a minute a day, but yeah.
Well, a minute's enough for anyone. You get tired after a while.
grew up in the Fate Spire.
No kidding.
No. And I am Rose Blackwood. Like the Blackwood.
Of the Blackwood. Yes. Well,
Right.
welcome to the Institute of the Arcane.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing. I will see what I can do. Is there any kind of cap on a budget that you need me to be wary of?
Probably. How much would something like that cost me?
Oh, the breastplate by itself? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe 200 gold.
Okay. And
Just-
if you were
Just with
And
the,
if you were
the
to
gold
make it-
on If I was to enchant it, well, the sky is the limit. It depends what you need.
it might be neat if it was like a glamour. And if I wanted to change what I looked like or what I was wearing.
Glad.
I've seen things like that before.
Easy enough to do.
Oh. Okay. I heard you say something about wands and spell focus.
Yes, ma'am.
How does that work?
Well, it depends. I usually custom make things to the user, which is why I ask so many questions.
Oh.
I like the focus to be an extension of the person. That way it doesn't feel like a burden to wield.
Well, that makes sense. Well, I'm a big believer in fate, and feel like, if you can make it harder for me to get hurt and know these things about us, then maybe a spell focus would also be appropriate.
I see. Fate, you say.
Yes.
I can ask around. There's nothing that I have, but I may be able to point you in the right direction.
Okay.
Celestial stuff's not really my forte.
Right. Okay.
Would that be all? Did anyone else?
I've a question or two. I get hurt so much, like all the time, and well, I don't really wear armor, even though it looks very cool, and I can't wait to see it on you, Rose. But I was wondering, I suppose, if there's anything I can do or an item can do to add some protection.
Y'all really are hurting a lot.
Yes.
Are you okay?
We're quite all right. We're quite capable. And we are quite, well, we put ourselves in the line of fire, often to help those who can't help themselves. It's become a bit of a workplace hazard, though, that people have been shot by so many arrows, you see. And, you know, burnt and nearly crushed once by a caving cave. A lot of things that are just job hazards when you are doing heroic deeds or whatever. I'm new to this. But I would like to not spend so much time unconscious, perhaps.
I see. Something to protect oneself.
Right. Make me harder to target. You are the expert.
I could probably do some research into something that would suit someone as yourself.
Right.
Again, is there a budget I need to be mindful of?
Oh, well, you see, I'm Adeline Beaumont. My family is good for it, but I don't necessarily want them to know that I am putting myself in so much danger to necessitate such a thing. But for something effective enough, well, I have a fair bit of gold to put behind it. 800 max?
I see. $800.
Can I roll insight?
Sure. What would you like to try and ascertain?
If his reaction to her saying 800 was, oh, that's a lot, or that's really cheap.
Sure.
I already rolled, and I have a plus. I rolled low. 13.
13. I mean, it's not hard. He doesn't hide it. There was a lot of disappointment behind that. Talking up, he thought he was getting into a big commission. You can probably ascertain from that like 800 is something that's like a regular kind of deal for a magical item, especially something like evocation, like protection stuff.
If you were going to protect yourself, Mr. Wandrite, what kind of enchantment would you use?
If I was going to protect myself from the things that you just described to me,
Yes.
I would say that there is no limit on the protection of one's life, especially out in the field.
I mean, Adeline, I'm sure you and your family are not familiar with this word, but maybe ask him if he offers financing.
What does that mean?
It means you'll make payments on the item, but you'll be able to afford a larger.
I don't know why I wouldn't just pay for it outright from the family store. That is just
for the poorer families of the Institute, we do have a layaway.
I'm unfamiliar with this word as well.
Where we make the item and then you come in every month or whenever you have the spare pennies and you put it down and eventually you pay off the item and then you can take it home.
Spare pennies. Yes. 800 is the max to keep it quiet. But trust that, well, I don't want to limit the price on my own safety, so I have the full backing of the Beaumont Bank behind me. Should you need to do something a bit more extravagant.
I see. And who do I obtain authorization from?
You can speak to my father. I'm surely he would not put any meager price on his daughter's life.
Mr. Beaumont. Understood. I will contact him and we will see where we land.
Fantastic. My second query, if you would. I received this as a gift. And she takes the Bloodwell vial from the chain around her neck. This has served me quite well as a focus. But I'm wondering if there's any way to get just a bit more juice from it.
You mean, like, metaphorically, not...
Right, no, I have
Literally.
no interest in the literal juice inside of it. I mean, it was so icky. Do you know you have to put your own blood in this?
Yes.
It's kind of in the name, I suppose.
Indeed. And you can see, like, there's a flash across his monocle. This, like, glint of reflective light that comes off of it. He said, yes, I am familiar. You need me to try and enhance its magical abilities.
If that's something that is possible.
I can at least see.
In doing so will cause no harm to it, right?
Oh, I wouldn't harm the object. I would sooner return it as presented.
Right. You'll need to hold it for some time while you tinker?
Yes, please. Generally do that sort of thing outside of business hours.
Is there any way I could pick it back up tomorrow? How quickly?
I can always contact Mr. Beaumont and see how quickly we can have anything done.
Right. She'll hand it over.
Takes it.
Unchecking this is so painful.
Keeps it behind the counter for now. Was that everything?
I mean, there's no weakness or flaws in my combat ability, but what I would like, if you're just offering the ability to enchant anything, I would like my deeds recorded for posterity. It's very important for me and for my people that we're remembered. And so, is there a way to magically, I don't know, maybe enchant armor to record deeds?
there's several different manners that we could do it. Is a projection something that you desire from it, or how would you like them recorded? The easiest way would be to obtain a tone and attune it with a quill that you could dictate to. That way, if you want something recorded the way you want it recorded, you could dictate it.
Oh, that sounds like too much work. You guys do magic, right? Magic. Can't you just make things happen?
It is literally a ghost rider.
I was thinking more of we complete something epic and it just magically is recorded on the armor.
Like your story is written on your armor, literally.
Yes. Or in some way symbolic on the armor, and perhaps maybe I abracadabra cast
Abracadabra
some magic
indeed.
word. Yes, and this feat is displayed or made known to people.
You want to draw feet on your armor?
And this, I imagine, is very important to you.
I don't know how magic works. I'm just throwing out ideas.
I didn't say anything about magic, son. I just said how important it is to you.
Oh, yes.
Very important.
Yes.
Indeed. I can, assuming money is no object, I can see to something being done that I think you will enjoy.
What if, and as an alternative, and Lost, you can obviously veto, what if you have a book that you carry, and magically in that book it records all of your glorious tracks?
So my first idea.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was looking at the trinkets and I missed. That sounds affordable.
If you have a little cash to spend, you do not need to purchase the armor. You already have it. All you are doing is paying for my time and know-how.
How much would that cost?
For what I'm thinking? Call it 1,200. And that is packing it with something extra.
We'll table this for now, but now that I have the number, I will make 1,200 gold and come back here.
No problem.
If it's something you really need, Lost, we can afford that for you.
It's a vanity project.
Is it
I will
though?
find a way to make.
Not just vanity, there's utility to it too.
You are very much tied to this. So if it's important and we're here now and you want it, that's okay.
I will. We'll talk about this later. I'll figure a way out to make this money. Or we could pay for it later, but yes. We'll figure it out. Now that I know it can be done.
It does mean that your armor would need to be left here for enchantment.
Ooh.
The written work is not difficult at all. I was thinking about packing it with some extra utility above and beyond the writing.
Oh. Well, then that sounds. How much? I don't want to burden our group's finances too much. I don't know how much money we have. Are we like the Beaumonts? Are we?
I mean, no.
Are we?
Not at
No.
Not at
oh,
all.
No. Okay. There's no fate bank. It's like
No.
a fate piggy bank. Okay.
No, but I mean, any earnings that we've received, I've been holding on to.
Okay. Well, okay.
I'll put it this way. What you need is not even a quarter of what we have.
Oh. Wow. Okay.
So,
Yes.
That's a deal?
Yes.
Fantastic. I will need you to doff said armor. Leave it with me.
And I just start taking it off right now.
Yep, not a problem at all. Like piece by piece, he starts taking it to the back, like to make sure, along with the blood vial, to lock it up in the back, to make sure that it's not out for everyone to see. But yes, he has your items. He has a shopping list of things that people would like.
do we pay when we come back?
Oh, pay on receipt, yes. If there's anything that I cannot accomplish or fail to within the time, I would hate to be indebted to you.
And when should we return?
You said by tomorrow morning, right?
Well, ideally, we have a important appointment that we'd like to be equipped for.
I see. Well, I have seen y'all. If I cannot complete it by tomorrow morning at open, I will let y'all know.
You can send word to the manor.
He could probably just send word to our heads.
Right.
Indeed.
Right. Less formal, but all right.
Straight to the point. Business.
All right.
You are entrusting me with your items, and I intend to deliver service.
Great. Well, we appreciate your expertise. Thank you so much.
Before we leave, but just looking around, is there? I thought I had my magic thing where I could see magic, and I don't have that today.
Detect magic?
That one, I don't have that today. But I want to look around and see if anything maybe catches. Okay, if there's anything macabre, anything
Spooky.
yeah, any kind of cemetery, graveyard, any kind of thing of that nature. I feel like that would draw my attention if there is such a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, give me a perception check. Or investigation if you want to like pay close attention.
Oh my god, it's a natural 20. So we'll say investigation because I want to pay the most attention. So that's a 21.
21. Okay, for a natural 20. You take in everything that is around you. Most things are like highly polished or carved from wood or some kind of like amulet or just these fine pieces. And in between you see a feather, but it is completely black except for at the oh, I forget the name of that piece, the like what would be the quill of the feather. At the end of that, it is starting to there seems to be roots coming from it.
I'll point to it and ask if I can pick it up. Can I touch this?
Be my guest.
Well, what is this?
A keen eye, I see. This is a feather token. This is the token of the tree.
What does that mean?
Well, if you want to use it, please be outside. But if you touch the roots to the ground, it will begin growing into a rather large but non-magical oak tree. 60 feet in height.
Wow. And then is it just planted there forever?
Yep.
Well,
My monocle doesn't tell me otherwise, so...
I mean, I think I might want that. You never know. Might need a large tree.
So one of those as well.
Yeah.
Would you like to pay and collect everything at once, or would you like to take that with you?
We can do everything at one time.
All right.
And I'll just hand it over to him.
I'll just add that on. Takes it, tags it, and puts it behind the counter. Anything else you want to take a look at?
How good are you at identifying the origin of a magical item?
Oh, I am very good. An eagle eye, you might say.
Well, if you would do me the favor, and he'll carefully remove his clasp silence. This is supposedly an heirloom of where I'm from, but I don't know anything about it. I'm not sure if there's other similar items out there, or if this was just one lost to our people. But if you could find out any information, that would be greatly appreciated.
I see. He takes the class silence and puts it on the counter in front of him. Where is this from? Where are your people?
Are we safe here to discuss things?
And you see
Is
another
there
like
crime?
flash over his monocle as he starts looking around. I see that we are by ourselves.
I see. Have you heard of the Temple of the Flowing Sands?
I have indeed, although it was never confirmed to my knowledge that it existed. Are you from there?
Yes, I am.
And you... I mean, y'all do what they say. Protecting the gateway.
That is what's whispered about. My father did well to keep certain superstitions at bay.
Well, for one, I am thankful that you are able to keep said superstitions from this plane of existence. And he takes clasped silence. And you see another flash over his monocle as he like inspects it. Kind of looking all over and running like his hands over the various like inscriptions and things, and over the large sort of gold circles on the backs of each of the hands. This is peculiar.
Peculiar in a good way and a bad way?
Yes. It does seem to be part of a set. This is one of. The strange thing is, I see the second one on your person as well.
I inquisitively take that you are referring to my weapon.
Indeed I am. The
Would you
larger
like to see
blade,
that as well?
if you wouldn't mind.
And in similar fashion, but again with like weighted respect, he'll take the weapon, unsheath it, and then carefully hand it over.
Yeah, he actually takes out a like a black like silk cloth and drapes it across his hands to accept it. Puts it down in front of him and begins to inspect it once again, being careful not to touch, but just kind of run his hand over it while the flash in his monocle shines up again. After a minute or two goes by. Your people, the Temple of the Flowing Sands. You are an order of monks who protect this plane from the gateway to the Hells, correct?
Yes.
Then where would you surmise that items that are of your people would come from?
If they were found here on this plane, there is a notable area not too far from where the temple lies, to which such items might have been procured.
Are we going to speak around it all day, or?
I do not have good memories of such place. But you would surmise, yes, we are speaking of the same place.
Well, forgive me for speaking plainly, but you would surmise that items that are related to your people would come from one of the planes of the Hells.
Yes.
That is also what I thought. But upon inspection, this blade once belonged to an angel. And the hands also come from the celestial plane.
So these aren't weapons forged.
Not forged in Hell's fires, no.
I see. Would there be a particular reason that my father just kept this particular detail a secret?
My eagle eyes see a lot, but they do not see the intricacies of the family.
Well, you have done me a great favor this day.
With the bill that we are racking up, I will call that even. You are welcome. I'm glad to have answered some of your questions. I hope this helps you in whatever journey you're taking.
I believe it will. And he'll
Please.
like carefully take them back. Gimme.
Is there does this mean that there's more?
There are more pieces in the set, yes.
Do you know how many?
I do not. As I said, the magic that I can identify with tells me that it is one of. When they are near one another, I can tell that they are from the same set. But there is not a finite number, revealed to me at least. But these are of a plane that I am not too familiar with.
For the
seem to have-
longest, I always thought where I come from, I always thought that I wasn't necessarily bred from a good place, but it would seem this would be the opposite.
I can't put an answer on that, unfortunately. But I can tell you that if your father was in possession of this, he was in possession of a sword that was once bestowed upon an angel.
I also don't think it matters where you come from. If you're doing good like you do, your whole life you've been protecting people. But,
Thank you, Rose.
yeah. But we may be more connected than we ever knew.
I realize I may have raised more questions for you than I have answered, but
No, you've done really good today.
Mr. Wandre, is there anything that we can do for you?
for me,
Yes. Obviously, fate's brought us to your door for a reason other than to, I don't know, help us. Maybe there's something we could do for you.
Post a review on the city bulletin board.
Absolutely. We'll tell everyone. We'll give you a 5 star.
yes, if you could go to Parchment Pages and put in a good review for me.
Consider it done.
If I think of anything, I'll let you know.
All right.
It was interesting to meet y'all.
Yes.
Miss
It's one of the nicest things we've heard.
Yeah, we are very interesting.
in an endearing kind of way.
Well, you are now under the protection of the Army of Fate. Maybe don't say that a lot around here. I don't really know if it means anything or if somebody's just
Army of
know it in
Fate.
your heart.
I'll wear it with pride.
Thank you.
All right. This is where we
I'm
say
just
bye.
gonna
Look at Adeline and be like, no.
I want to surface level detect thought.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay, surface level. So no save
Surface
for this. Yeah. So surface thoughts and emotions for Walter right now. There's a lot of intrigue and a lot of sort of bouncing questions around in his head. He does seem like touched or sort of warmed in the heart with the words that kind of sit on his mind from Rhapsody, like with their interaction and being able to answer questions and things. He feels good about himself for doing that. there is also like this worry over him as well.
Can I? Oh no.
Say it.
I want to. Okay. I'm not saying I'm doing it, but I'm saying I have an idea. I'd like to try to be able to push further without him realizing what I'm doing. My thought is to perhaps flood him with that language Adeline hears, that garble of, to kind of like disquiet him a bit, but mostly as a distraction to cover up the realization that he's being delved into.
I will allow that if you spend your flex point on it.
Absolutely. Have to.
If you need help, you could tell me, and I could start shifting things on the shelves and stuff to piss him off. Just kidding.
I'm just saying,
Drive him nuts.
we will be talking about this as a party, but we are in a place
Oh, yeah.
that we know is tied to people who think we're dead, who are in a conspiracy to kill us, we don't know who to trust, and we're just immediately like, oh hey, we're the Army of Fate, by the way.
As soon as I said it, I was like, don't use that anywhere.
Oh, the tangled web we weave.
We know that people are shipping magical items in and out of the Institute. He could be, you guys. Anyway, let me get in there.
Do you want me to just inside check him, bro?
I know. I was like, I can insight as well.
Okay,
Just do-
so
Yeah. If when I say Army of Fate, and I kind of realize I probably shouldn't be saying that, I could insight him to see if there's any kind of like shift.
Recognition.
like recognition
Yeah.
of the name. Yeah, sure. You can insight check him, and then we'll resolve the other thing.
Yeah, I'm still diving into his brain.
That's gonna be high, but I have to find my character sheet. I can't remember what. I think it's +9. So that's 27.
You get a flood of politeness from his response.
No, like recognition or worry.
0.
Okay, good. Okay.
0. Nothing. Nada.
He's just being really polite at our stupid name for our group.
Cool.
Just kidding.
Cool. So I'm
It's
going
very
to
much
kind
like, bless your heart.
Good. I'm gonna kind of like give Adeline an eye, like. I mean, you can get into my mind if you want to hear what I'm saying, but I'm just gonna give you a. Like, I know I just said something I shouldn't have said, but I think we're okay.
Adeline is just like,
There's just this awkward silence, and we're all just.
So, as you guys sort of prepare to leave, like making sure you've got everything that you need, that you've given over everything that you need, and you start sort of wandering towards the door again, Adeline hangs back a little bit, and you press that power further into his mind, and without even allowing a reaction from Walter, you hear the words, "Use it," as these whispers that you hear in the backs of your mind push forward from yours into Walters, and you see as he turns around, he kind of like shakes his head a little bit. But in that fraction of a second, time almost slows down, where you are floating within this space, this black space, with several doors laid out. There are 4 doors. You get to choose one. From left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
3.
3. You put your hand on the doorknob and push open, and immediately you are filled with these flashes of memory of him crafting all of these wands for all of these kids, and you can see that that's where he gets his enjoyment from. Like, that's what he really has honed his craft for, is empowering these young students to be everything that they want to be, and that is why he custom makes them to every single person based on their personality and little things that they tell about him, and it keeps moving on and on and on through years of him refining his process. And you see a handshake with a tattered flag member, and him receiving a crate that he takes and puts in the back before you are pulled back to yourself. You see Walter kind of shake his head.
As I was saying, you can address your correspondence to Marcel.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sorry. I know Mr. Beaumont. I'll be in touch.
Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Turn to go.
And you are able to walk out onto the street once more.
Adeline, you spoke about a bookstore.
Oh, yes, the Glimmering Quill. It's, just this way.
Is everything okay?
Yes. I'm sure there's no need for me to remind you of our status as potentially wanted individuals. And surely there's no need for me to remind you of the danger here. The fact that we do not know who to trust. Surely I don't need to remind you of any of this because it's at the forefront of your minds, considering the fact that we just spoke about it all this morning with my parents. And surely I won't need to remind you again that discretion is of the utmost importance. I only worry for our safety. That's all. Follow me. She'll lead the way down the street.
Give me a history check.
Me?
Yeah. Or yeah. Okay. Go with history.
That would be in 18.
18. So, as you ponder what you saw, giving the reminders to your party about particular dangers, as you walk through, you remember the ledger. And you remember that there were things that were marked for the Institute. Like the Institute, the school, that were to be signed off. And a couple of initials. And they were not WW. With an 18, he's in with some things,
Sure.
but not that deep.
Sure. And I don't think that Adeline is thinking that it's all that deep. But the next person, we don't know if they are. We don't know who is. We didn't know that he wasn't. I think that was a safe place to fumble, but that we ought to be quite cautious because that's close to the situation, though maybe not involved directly.
Yep. So, with a near miss, heading towards the Glimmering Quill, the magical bookstore. That is where we're going to end tonight. We're not going to jump into another scene. Woo, buddy.
Ooh, buddy.
I did wonder, guys. Yeah, that was fun. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching and staying around with us. We'll be back Monday, I want to say, for a community night, and then we'll be back on Wednesday for session 0 of Daggerheart, because I hate myself and I don't like sleep or rest or a point in the day where I'm not working. But no, it'll be fun. Oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you, Saffron Spades 44. A Fairy Oath of Glory Paladin.
That's badass.
That's amazing.
That's fucking sick. Awesome. Yes. We will be back on Monday. Thank you for watching the Fables of Gahlia. This is the correct way to start your Thursday and
Just start your Friday.
lead into your Friday, which is almost the weekend.
On the East Coast, we're pretty much there.
Yeah.
I like all of that as the tag, the full thing.
Yes. So we are going to. Oh, hey, Mike is there.
Let's go read Michael.
Michael. There we go. All
It's our
right.
very
Yeah,
own
so make sure you stick around for the raid. Get your 250 bonus channel points to spend on our players in the next Fables of Gahlia, which will be next week. Yeah, please have a great night. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. We love you lots. Sleep tight. We will see you soon. Bye.